Hi Nature Explorers, Mrs. Sidey, Storybook Matinee here, and I'm in my backyard where Mr. Sidey just finished cutting the grass. I was walking around admiring it and I noticed these two weeds that seemed to avoid the lawnmower blades. I don't know how that happened. So I don't want them in my yard and I'm going to get them out of here, and I thought you might like to investigate with me. So I'm going to get this one first. I'm going to go way down by the bottom of the stem and ease it out gently. Look at it. It's an acorn. And last fall, when it dropped off of the oak tree, it went down into the earth. And this spring, when it felt the rain and the sunshine, it sprouted a root that went down into the earth. And then the stem searched for the sunshine and shot up through the earth. And that's how that ended up there. That's cool. All right, let's see what the other one is. I'll put that right there. The other one has leaves that are a different color. These have lime green, and those are kind of a burnished orangey red with some green. So again, I'm gonna get way down low on it. And then wiggle it out, ease it out. Pop! It's the same thing. Oh, it has a really long root that went down into the earth. And its stem is a little bit longer than the first one. I bet this is a little bit older. So from an acorn to an oak tree. There you go, these two. Well, I don't want them living in my grass right here. So I'm gonna go get my little shovel and I'm going to plant them in my woods. I'm pretty sure that that's the tree right there, that big one. I think that's where the acorn came from to begin with. I thought I'd take you for a walk in my woods. Let's go over my bridge and listen to the sound my feet make. We're headed up to that fort. Can you see it? It's right in the middle of a big group of oak trees. Let's go check it out. When I go off the path and walk through the woods, my feet really make a crunchy sound in the leaves. This fort belongs to my two grandsons. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we hopped inside and read a story together. Let's go. Well, here we are in my grandson's fort. Mr. Sidey and I made this fort out of branches and limbs that had fallen and even baby trees that were sitting on the forest floor that weren't rotten yet. And we stacked them all together to make this super cool fort. It's a great place to sit quietly and listen. I can usually hear lots of birds chirping. And when it's windy, I really enjoy looking up and watching the trees sway back and forth and watch the leaves fluttering in the wind. I think trees are magical, boys and girls. Our book today is called A Tree is Nice. The author is Janice May Udry, and the illustrator is Mark Samant. And this book has received a Caldecott Medal. You should check it out with your mom and dad. Investigate and find out, what does it take for a book to receive a Caldecott Medal? A tree is nice, and I really do agree with that. Let's begin. A tree is nice. Trees are very nice. They fill up the sky. I think that child is laying there and looking up at the limbs going back and forth in the wind. That's what I really love to do. They go beside the rivers and down the valleys, and they live up on the hills. This tree is called a weeping willow, and you can see how the branches weep. Trees make the woods. They make everything beautiful. This is a birch tree with its really white bark. Even if you have just one tree, it's a nice tree too. A tree is nice because it has leaves, and the leaves whisper in the breeze all summer long. In the fall, the leaves come down and we play in them. We walk in the leaves and roll in the leaves. We build playhouses out of the leaves. Then we pile them up with our rakes and have a big bonfire. That looks like a lot of fun. A tree is nice because it has a trunk. This is the trunk. And limbs. These are the limbs. We can climb the tree and see over all the yards. We can sit on a limb and think about things. Or play pirate ship up in the tree, matey. If it's an apple tree, we can climb it to pick the apples. Can you think of some other trees that have fruit growing in it? Cats get away from dogs by going up the tree, and birds build nests in trees and live there. Sticks come off the trees too. We draw on the sand with the sticks. You can also draw in the mud. What else can you draw on with a stick? Sand, mud. Maybe you can dip the end of your stick in a puddle, and then when it gets wet, you can use it on dry cement to draw. A tree is nice to hang a swing in, or a basket of flowers. It's a good place to lean your hoe while you rest. A tree is nice because it makes shade. The cows lie down in the shade when it's hot. People have picnics there too, and the baby takes his nap in the buggy in the shade. I think almost everyone in that picture is asleep. What do you think? A tree is nice for a house to be near. The tree shades the house and keeps it cool. Even the doghouse is in the shade. The tree holds off the wind and keeps the wind from blowing the roof off the house sometimes. It's kind of windy out here in the forest today. Look at the doghouse. His roof blew off. Let's look at the page before. There the roof is on and he's sleeping calmly, and then whoosh! Bye-bye, roof. A tree is nice to plant. You dig the biggest hole you can and put the little tree in. Then you pour in lots of water and then the dirt, and you hang the shovel back in the garage. Every day for years and years, you watch the little tree grow. You say to people, hey, I planted that tree. They wish they had one, so they go home and plant a tree too. The end. Maybe you could go out in your yard and count the trees in your yard and see all the different leaves. Some of them might even be flowering right now. You can measure how many inches are around each tree. You can measure how high some of the trees are. If you can. If they're too tall, there's no way you'll be able to measure it. You could just say it's taller than my house, or it's taller than my car, or it's taller than my dad. Or maybe you'll find a tree that's as tall as you. I hope you enjoyed the story today. A tree really is nice. Don't you agree?